Welcome to The Author Show, where we feature new authors and books, from fiction to self-help and everything in between. You'll find it all at theauthorshow.com. That's theauthorshow.com. And now let the show begin.
Hello and welcome back to the show. This is your host, Don McCauley. Today we're welcoming program author Machen Pritchard, and she is the author of The Spirit of 16. Before I bring in today's guest, a quick reminder that selected interviews are available on our website, as well as on major platforms like Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, and many more. Anne, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Well, I'm an award-winning author, illustrator, songwriter, actress, and producer. So I do several different things.
So tell us about your book.
The Spirit of 16 is based on a true story. This is a story of love, hate, ruthless betrayal, fear, faith, forgiveness, and courage. A young woman, Gloria Ann Freely, has a difficult time trusting anyone and making her own decisions. She wants to learn to overcome her fears. After going through many trials and tribulations in her life, Gloria Ann finds strength and faith and forgiveness. Things can happen to anyone, anywhere, and at any time in their life. But with faith in God, you can get through anything.
Now, who did you write your book for specifically? Who's your target audience here?
I wrote The Spirit of 16 for ages 14 years old and up to help them who have gone through different traumas in their life. And they can use it as a healing tool. And I myself can also use it as a healing tool in my own traumas that I've had in my life. I think it's a great tool for healing.
So, could you say there's any type of central message or perhaps underlying theme that you would say runs throughout your book?
That the faith in God and forgiveness can help us get through our hurt and pain.
So if you had to choose, what would you say is the single most important idea you're sharing in your book that's really going to add value to the reader's life?
Learning how to forgive the people who have hurt us so we can gain strength and courage to live a better life.
So if you were asked to compare your book with any book out there we might already be familiar with, which book would it be and why?
Well, I cannot think of a book that my book is similar to, because I feel that every story is different and everybody goes through different things, even though they could be similar, but I couldn't think of a book. But I did ask AI, and for those who don't know what AI is, that's the artificial intelligence thing that's going around in the world today, where you could ask it a question and it would give you an answer. So when I asked AI which book is similar to mine, it listed To Kill a Mockingbird as one. I was so surprised, but I loved it because it's one of my favorite books. And it's similar because the little girl in both stories, she's like coming of age, and when she's going through different things, she's asking her dad things. And in this book, it's the little girl asking her mom things about life, and when she has problems with friends and things like that, or she wants to feel like she belongs somewhere. And there's also trauma in both stories. And there's also things about racial injustice in both stories. So then I understand, well, this AI thing might be onto something. So I was really excited because I love To Kill a Mockingbird, and I believe people will love The Spirit of 16 too.
So tell us about some of the characters in the book.
Gloria Ann Freely is the main character, and she takes us through her becoming of age and how she's been treated in her life that caused her to rethink about who to trust and whom not to. Her older brother, Joe Jr., is a wild type of guy. And then one of Joe's friends, his name is Greg Dopley, is a monster in Gloria Ann's eyes. And then there's Terry. I will call him the devil in sheep clothing. And of course, there's many more, but these are just a few.
So what was your motivation to write this book?
Well, I had talked to several people who have been through different traumas in their lives, and they seem to not have healed from them. Like, if someone's not healed from a trauma, they can get into more negative things in life, like drugs and alcoholism, and like some people might get into like so many crimes and violence because they always have the thing of, hurt people, hurt other people. So I just thought this would be great to help the people out here that's been through so much trauma that maybe it could help them in their healing and especially in their relationships, and they will know that they're not alone.
So how long did it take you to write this book?
It took about 10 years. I know that's a long time, but each time that I would try to write it, I had to put it down because it was too painful to write at first because I went through some of the same traumas as the character in the book. And then I had an accident at home where I fell and I developed a really bad head concussion that took a whole 3 years to recover from. So I had to learn how to talk, learn how to walk again, let alone try to be writing anything.
Now, did your environment or upbringing perhaps play any major role in your writing?
I myself experienced many things in life that caused lots of trauma, but I learned some life lessons from them.
So what can you tell us about this genre and why you decided to write in this genre?
I want to inspire others that no matter what they have gone through in their life, that with faith in God, that we can get through anything.
So what's been your most rewarding experience since publishing your book?
My most rewarding experience is that people have been responding very positively. The reviews have been amazing and heartwarming to read. I feel that many people can relate to my book and they're being inspired by it. It just warms my heart to be an inspiration to others.
Do you have any other books in the works? Are you working on anything now?
I do have 3 others, but I also have 2 children's books. One is Fill the Pill and Friends, Making Positive Choices. It has 4 short stories and 5 children's songs, even with the sheet music. So any teachers in school or the parents, they can interact with the children. And some of the mothers who have children with autism say this is one of the perfect books for them because you have to keep their attention going, and music is great. And then the other children's book I have out is Val's World, featuring the Family Unity Roundtable. And it's about a teacher in a school and has the children to interact to help them build some slogans. And it's a great book to help bring families closer together, because I feel if you come around even a table and talk to each other, ask each other, how's your day going? What's going on in your life? Get to really know each other, because today families are just breaking apart and they don't even talk to each other. So I think those are 2 great books, and you can take a look at those too.
So what part of your book would you say you personally like best?
The one that I like best is because the character Gloria Ann loved the specific Bible verse out of the King James Version, which is John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave us his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish and have everlasting life. I love that, and I've carried it on through my own life.
What kind of feedback have you received from readers so far?
Some of them have even said that I've really taken them on a roller coaster ride with their emotion. They said that was the biggest emotional roller coaster ride that I've ever had in my life, because they could actually relate to a lot of the things that are in the book. It can make them cry. It can make them laugh. It could make them be on edge and excited to see, well, what's going to happen next? I have to keep reading. I can't put this book down, is what a lot of them are saying. I just can't put it down. I got to keep reading because I got to see what's happening next. So it just warms my heart that they're really taken into this new book of mine.
So how would you describe your writing style?
I would say inspirational and emotional. I want to capture the reader to feel that they're right there, right into the story with that character.
Now, your characters, are they pure fiction or did you draw from people you know in real life?
The inspiration for the characters in the book are from people that I've known throughout my life. As they say, even the good, the bad, and the ugly, I took from people that I've known.
So would you say you're more of a character artist or more plot-driven writer?
I would say I'm more of a character artist, but I have to focus on both the characters and the plot because it takes both the characters and the plot to make a good story.
So other than selling your book, of course, is there anything else you hope to accomplish with it?
I hope to help inspire people who are in a toxic or abusive relationship to know that they don't have to stay in those kinds of relationships and that they can gain courage and strength through faith in God and forgiveness. Also, I would like my book to become a #1 bestseller. That's important to me, too.
So in your opinion, who should buy your book?
Anyone that is over 14 years of age that likes to read books that are based on a true story and wants to read books that keep them engaged to read it through to the end. Also, anyone who has gone through or going through domestic violence or in a toxic relationship, or anyone who has been through trauma or knows someone who has. And all of the trauma centers, counselors, high schools, colleges, battered women's shelters, mental health centers, and of course, book clubs.
Do you have a website?
Yes, I do. It's www.mampcreations.com. So that's spelled M-A-M-P as in Paul, creations.com. And I also have an author page on Amazon under the name of M-Ann, that's A-N-N, Machen, M-A-C-H-E-N, Pritchard, P as in Paul, R-I-T as in Tom, C-H-A-R-D. So that is M-Ann Machen Pritchard.
Well, this has been just great. Our guest today has been M. Machen Pritchard, and she is the author of The Spirit of 16. And thanks very much for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
This is Don McCauley wrapping up another edition of The Author Show. Go out there, buy the book today, and please share this interview with your friends so that they too have the opportunity to discover our guests and their work. The Author Show can be accessed at any time at theauthorshow.com, and whether you're an author who would like to be featured or a reader in search of new books to read, The Author Show is a great place to start. Check us daily as we continue to introduce wonderful authors of very interesting books on The Author Show.
Thanks for listening to The Author Show. Find out more about authors and their work at theauthorshow.com. theauthorshow.com. Tune in next time to another great author on The Author Show.